This is Southern Gospel Now, episode 129. I'm Greg Goodman, your host. Southern Gospel Now is made possible by SouthernGospelPrizes.com, where you can register to win the Greater Vision Christmas in London prize pack. We'll draw the winners October 31st. We start our report with a recap of the 54th Annual GMA Dove Awards, looking at the Southern Gospel categories. The Hoppers won Southern Gospel Album of the Year for Believe. Dean, Kim, and Carly Hopper comment on this honor.
We're shocked.
We're shocked. We're blessed. So excited about this. This album was born during the time we were off at the shutdown. We went into the studio there on our farm and just started recording songs. And we brought over Wayne Hahn and Michael Sykes. And of course, the late Larry Goss had produced several songs for us before he passed. And we put one of those songs on this particular project. We're honored. And thanks to Gaither Music, the producers, and I think 19 songwriters.
It's probably, to me, one of the most special projects we've ever done. And this is the first album that Carly sang the whole album out. It was really basically the four of us. And so maybe that's a little pat on the back that, you know, that the Lord says, you guys keep going.
Right.
And,
but thank you again to the GMA and all those that voted.
Thank you for believing in us.
Amen.
66 years, we are still going.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
Karen Peck in New River won Southern Gospel Song of the Year for The Keepers. Karen Peck Gooch talks about the song and the GMA Dove Awards.
I dedicate this song to Pastor Calvin Ray Evans up in Ohio, who preached a sermon about the keepers, the people in the church, the people that are around us that work tirelessly to help us get to where we need to be, and they never want to be recognized. They never want their names mentioned. I always go back to years ago thinking I'm just a hometown girl whose dream came true to be able to do this.
Winner of Bluegrass Country Roots Song of the Year, Good Morning Mercy, from Jason Crabb and Dylan Scott. They talk about this collaboration.
Actually, my record label goes, did you know Dylan Scott just did a cover of your song on the bus? That's what it was. And I said, no. And so I called him. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. We got to go in the studio and cut this thing. And here we are.
Yeah, it's such a great song. And the moment I heard it, I loved it. You know, my kids are singing it in the car, you know, my little boy and my little girl. And I'm like, man, this is such a great song. And so that's what inspired me sitting on the bus one day. I told my video guy, I said, man, get a video of this. I want to do a little cover of this and put it out. And people ate it up. And Jason called me. And it was just... I'm honored. I'm honored because I've been a fan a long time, so this is really cool. Inspirational Song of the Year went to the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir featuring Taranda Green for the song He's Been Faithful. Taranda Green here.
Okay, so this song is called He's Been Faithful. It was written 30 years ago. Carol didn't have any idea where her daughter was. She'd run away from home, just gone. Carol was diagnosed with cancer, and the words to this song are exactly what she prayed the night she was laying in her hospital bed before her surgery, and it became this song, and it has become the anthem of my life. And if anything in my life is true, it's that God's been faithful. And that's exactly what the song says. We brought it back and put the choir on it, the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir and the singers. And we're just so thankful that the message is still true. It's still reaching everyone. And we couldn't be more honored to be here.
Congratulations are in order for Cole Watson, lead singer of the Kingsmen Quartet. Cole proposed to Brooklyn Henneke recently. We'll keep you updated on wedding arrangements. The Collingsworth family just welcomed a new arrival. Our congratulations to Courtney Collingsworth Metz and her husband Michael on the birth of their daughter Evie May. Evie arrived 6 weeks early on Friday, October 29th at 11:55 a.m., weighing 4 pounds, 13 ounces, and she was 17 inches long. Evie will spend some time in the NICU to grow since she was such a preemie. The Collingsworth family is expecting grandchild number 9 on Christmas Eve. What a Christmas present. The Sound's Levi Mills talks about a recent move to America's Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
I recently moved to Nashville, not even been a year yet, and it's been a little bit of an adjustment. You know, born and raised in Michigan, that's the only place I had ever lived my whole life, and so I still feel like Michigan's home. But Nashville's been great as far as work is concerned because it's really allowed me to be around some of my friends in music, and we've been able to do a lot of songwriting. Even some of the producers that I'm friends with, we get to go in the studio and just take some time and really hone in and make some music. We'll see. There might be more of that coming down the pipe for us. It has been a very creative time this year, and I'm very thankful for that.
The current hit from the Guardians is He Grew the Tree. The songwriter was a gospel DJ at the time that he wrote the song. Now he's a pastor. Chuck Lawrence recounts his weed eater inspiration for the song.
Back in 1978, I was introduced to a weed eater. I'd never used one before, but my future mother-in-law asked me to weed eat around her property. And while I was weed eating, I come across a sapling and I cut it down. And as I cut it down, I thought, wow, if I would have let that grow, that could have become a large tree. And then the thought hit me, wow, the cross began like that. And God knew right where that tree was growing. And then the line came out of me. He grew the tree He knew would be used to make the old rugged cross. And man, I was really moved by that. So I ran around the front of the house and knocked on the door to get Jamie's attention. And I said, Jamie, I wrote a song. And she goes, okay, let me hear it. I said, He grew the tree He knew would be used to make the old rugged cross. And she goes, is that all there is to it? And I said, well, not yet. I'll finish writing. She goes, you do that. Go finish writing it. And I went that night to the church, and in 10 minutes, I'd written what is basically the song.
It's been a year and a half of change for the Kingdom Heirs, but Dennis Murphy says that the fans and Dollywood have supported them all the way.
They have prayed for us and been behind us. And Dollywood, I tell you, has been so good through all of this. They have worked with us. We've been in meetings with them, and they, okay, what's going on? You guys okay? You ain't got to worry about us. They'll tell us. Don't worry about Dollywood. We want you guys to work this out. You're our people. That eased a whole lot of stress that we could have had.
Let's take a look at the top Southern Gospel songs of the week from the Power 50 chart.
Number 5.
Free Indeed, Tribute Quartet.
If the Son has set you free, then you are free indeed. Oh, you are free indeed.
Number 4.
Bragging on Jesus, The Steels.
Bragging on Jesus.
Number 3.
The Basement, Joseph Habedank.
But wait until you see what he's been doing in the basement.
Number 2.
Love Worth Dying For, The Down East Boys.
It's love worth dying for.
Number 1.
Nobody Like Jesus, Lefevre Quartet.
Nobody like Jesus. Nobody like him.
The Lefevre Quartet takes top honors for the second week in a row. That's our report. If you missed earlier episodes of Southern Gospel Now, you will find those wherever you find podcasts, or you can listen at southerngospelnow.com. Southern Gospel Now is made possible by southerngospelprizes.com. Southern Gospel Prizes for Southern Gospel fans, southerngospelprizes.com. I'm Greg Goodman, reminding you to love your neighbor. I'll see you next week with another edition of Southern Gospel News on Southern Gospel Now.